Well, that was a very big cliffhanger for this week's episode of the Ancient Magus' Bride, because I know this series is known for its cliffhangers, but my god, like, just the way that was done and what Elias did and said and what Chibi said, that was a very intriguing scene that just caught my attention. I mean, when Chibi's like, "You're just like the others," when I first looked at it, I was like, wait, what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean that he's just like how your family was? For instance, how your mother wanted to kill you and how everybody was just shifting and throwing you around? Or are you talking about how the fairies look at you because they know you're a Slaybega and, that's the only reason why they actually look at you in the first place? That's what I'm assuming Chibi meant, for instance, since she is like a Slaybega and all that compared to just a normal human, they're actually paying attention to her. And so, if she was a regular human, they wouldn't bat an eye. They wouldn't care much about her. They would just say like, oh, it's just regular human, just move on, not even caring at all. But thanks to her being different from a normal average human, everybody just focuses on her and wants to help her out. And it does kind of correlate with what Chibi said at the beginning of the episode with the fairy and what she said towards Elias at the end. That's what I think the message meant there when she's like, "You're just like the others." I feel like she meant that you only care about me because I'm a Slaybega. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be here. But anyways though, besides that scene, let's talk about Elias, what he did in this episode, and just like how surprising / shocking it is, and what Chibi's reaction was to it. So we already know that Elias is someone that doesn't really know how to properly show emotions. He's someone that has recently come to terms with he has emotions. He's like an infant. He's been stated to be or described as a child. So he's had temper tantrums. He's done some things that are very questionable. For instance, keeping Chibi locked up in a certain area for a while because he was jealous. I mean, we have seen that, Elias is someone that doesn't know how to properly handle his own emotions. He doesn't really understand how messed up some of these emotions are. Jealousy, hatred, and all of that. And when you see in this episode, the whole reason why he grabbed Stella and was going to sacrifice her was for the sheer fact that he was jealous and did not like how Chibi looked at her. That right there just shows what type of person Elias is, but also how naive he is when it comes to emotions. See, here's the thing. It would have been messed up, yes, regardless if he didn't do it for jealousy reasons, but it made it much worse that he went out of his way to target Stella, this girl that Chibi liked quite a bit as a friend. He went out of his way, targeted her, just because Chibi was showing her attention that was completely different, okay, from how she showed it to Elias. And he got upset, jealous, and so he wanted to sacrifice her. He wanted to get rid of her, which is just absolutely messed up. But at the same time, though, it just like, it shows how poisonous Elias's relationship with Chibi is, and how he is just very messed up when it comes to him really comprehending what's going on. I mean, obviously, he knows that Chibi, she would not like what he wanted to do. For instance, exchanging a life for the life. Obviously, he knew that. And he knew that because, she would just say, no, you can't do this. And so he just went out of his way to hide what was really going on. And when, Chibi did find out, he starts talking about all these different things about how he did it or the reason why he did it, not really comprehending what makes that so bad or wrong or messed up. And I like how Chibi, she doesn't actually run off and just teleport somewhere instantly. She actually manages to hear the full entire story from Elias's own mouth before she decides to make any decisions. You don't know how many times I've seen a show have forced melodrama because the characters just misunderstand something and they don't get the full picture. That's not what happened in this episode. Chibi, she was already upset with Elias. Like, she was extremely upset because she could kind of put A and B together and realize something very bad was going on. But before she really did anything, before she really hit Elias and all that, she wanted the story. She let Stella leave and then looked at Elias and wanted an explanation. He said it, and then she hit him and then ran off. Basically, what this represents is that she didn't want to just start coming to a conclusion. It's like, okay, he's doing this and all that and having a misunderstanding and just being completely upset for no reason at all. She wanted to get the full clear picture, and that's what happened there. So I know that is something that is not the norm, and I just want to praise the writer for that, because I've seen it so many times where it's just random melodrama for the sake of being melodrama because, misunderstandings, but that was not the case. But anyways, getting off of that though, let's talk about Chisei and the potential possibility of her getting rid of her curse. I am actually really happy that Chisei has not gotten rid of her curse like that, because I mean, when it comes to certain conflict or problems that we have seen throughout the Ancient Magus' Bride, usually problems are settled in about a couple of minutes after the next episode starts. That's just happened many times. And since we heard that maybe the witch's cult could be able to help out Chisei get rid of the curse, I figured something like that might happen in this week's episode. But that did not happen, by the way. The witches actually told Chisei flat out, or the head witch is like, look, we can't help you out at all, okay? We cannot cure this curse. The only way to cure this curse is by killing the dragon. And at first glance when that was mentioned, I was under the impression that Elias was going to kill the dragon. That's what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't. But anyways, Chisei finds out the truth that, if she kills the dragon, the curse will be gone. And eventually one of the witches like, look, Elias, I have something for you, a favor for you. The only way to get rid of a curse is a life for a life. So, for instance, transfer the curse to someone else to bear that curse. That's kind of what was being implied there. And so Elias comes up with the idea to get Stella and transfer the curse that Chisei has to her, which would automatically end up killing her, obviously. But there is something else that pops up. We know that Carta, Joseph, he is someone that has been cursed to basically not die. He's immortal, he cannot die, and at the same time, he is someone that has a split personality. And something is telling me that for Chisei to wind up near him and all that, for, Chisei to be there, and he's, confronting Chisei about this, like how, he can help her out not to die, I feel like he's going to transfer the curse over to Chisei, and Chisei is going to, transfer her curse over to him. Something like that is telling me that's what's going to happen, because, I mean, that's the impressions I get, and if Chisei does get Carta's curse, I'm very curious on what's really going to happen to her. I mean, from what we've seen to Carta, like, he's, not emotionally stable, he's not mentally stable, and if Chisei becomes anything like that, it's going to be a hell of a lot worse. So, we'll see where that goes. But for now, though, I do believe that Carta is trying to take Chisei's curse, while Chisei is going to probably take Carta's curse. That's probably what's going to happen. They're probably going to do like a curse transfer, which makes me wonder exactly why he hasn't done it in the first place. If his curse can be transferred to other people, why hasn't he done it before? Unless it needs to be willingly accepted by an individual for the curse to be transferred. That's the only conclusion I could actually come to. But anyways, besides that, let's talk about Ruth for a second. So Ruth actually agreed to what Elias was trying to do. And I'm just like, Ruth, what the hell, my dude? Like, what the hell? Like, okay, I know, Ruth has a connection with Chisei, and Ruth cares about Chisei, but at the same time, let's think about Ruth's origin story. He had, like, this little sister that died and all that, and he was very upset, he lost himself, and you would think you would want to protect a little girl like Stella, but this does prove a point that fairies, once again, they don't know how to properly understand emotions, and I felt like that's what that scene was trying to imply. Just like Elias can't properly comprehend certain emotions or things, I feel like Ruth is just like that. He is someone that also can't properly comprehend emotions, and it just shows how twisted fairies can exactly be. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to this week's episode. I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. I'm curious to see if, Chisei is going to be able to get rid of this curse, and if she's going to take Carta's curse from him. That would be very interesting to see. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about what happened to, Chisei? How do you feel about what happened to Stella? How do you feel about what, Elias tried to do with his jealousy? Be honest in the comments below, and I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.